The Middle East is once again teetering on the brink of a wider conflict. Tensions, long simmering beneath the surface, have erupted with a ferocity unseen in recent years. The epicenter of this crisis lies in the intertwined conflicts engulfing Iran, Gaza, and Lebanon. The situation is complex, with a tangled web of actors, motivations, and historical grievances fueling the flames of violence. At the heart of the current crisis lies the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a seemingly intractable struggle with a long and bloody history. Recent clashes between Israel and Hamas, the militant group that controls Gaza, have resulted in a devastating humanitarian crisis in the besieged enclave. Adding to the volatility is the escalating shadow war between Israel and Iran. Iran, through its support of proxy groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, has vowed to retaliate against Israeli strikes on its assets and allies. This has raised fears of a wider regional conflagration, drawing in actors far beyond the immediate conflict zones. The international community is watching with growing alarm. Calls for restraint and de-escalation have come from world leaders, international organizations, and humanitarian groups. The urgency for a diplomatic solution cannot be overstated. The alternative, a full-blown regional war, is a terrifying prospect with potentially catastrophic consequences. Iran's reaction to the escalating conflict has been swift and unambiguous. Tehran has accused Israel of perpetrating war crimes and vowed to retaliate for attacks against its interests and allies in the region. The specter of Iranian-backed militias striking Israeli targets looms large, adding another layer of complexity and danger to an already volatile situation. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has declared that Israel will face severe revenge for its actions. This rhetoric, while familiar, carries a chilling weight in the context of the current crisis. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, a powerful military force with a long history of regional intervention, is on high alert. Adding to the tension is the ongoing shadow war between Israel and Iran. This clandestine conflict, characterized by covert operations, cyber attacks, and targeted assassinations, has escalated in recent years. The fear is that the current crisis could spiral into a wider confrontation, drawing in these two regional rivals in a direct and potentially catastrophic conflict. Diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation are underway, but progress remains elusive. The international community is urging all parties to exercise restraint and seek a peaceful resolution. However, with tensions running high and trust in short supply, finding a path to de-escalation will be a Herculean task. The Gaza Strip, a densely populated Palestinian enclave blockaded by Israel and Egypt, is facing a humanitarian crisis of catastrophic proportions. Recent Israeli airstrikes, launched in response to rocket attacks by Hamas, have caused widespread destruction and a staggering loss of civilian life. Hospitals in Gaza are overwhelmed, struggling to cope with the influx of casualties. Medical supplies are running dangerously low, and the healthcare system, already strained by years of blockade, is on the verge of collapse. The shortage of essential goods, including food, water, and fuel, is exacerbating the suffering of civilians caught in the crossfire. The United Nations has warned that Gaza is facing a humanitarian catastrophe. The UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, which provides vital assistance to a majority of Gaza's population, has issued urgent appeals for a ceasefire and increased humanitarian access. The international community has condemned the escalating violence and called for an immediate ceasefire. However, efforts to secure a lasting truce have been unsuccessful, leaving the people of Gaza trapped in a cycle of violence and despair. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable, and the scars of this latest round of fighting will take years, if not generations, to heal. The conflict has also spilled over into Lebanon, raising fears of a wider regional conflagration. Hezbollah, a powerful Iranian-backed Shiite militant group and political party in Lebanon, has pledged to support its Palestinian allies and threatened retaliation against Israel. Hezbollah's involvement injects another layer of volatility into an already combustible situation. The group, which fought a devastating war with Israel in 2006, possesses a vast arsenal of rockets and missiles capable of striking deep inside Israeli territory. Israel has responded to Hezbollah's threats with a show of force, deploying troops and artillery along its northern border with Lebanon. Airstrikes have also been carried out against suspected Hezbollah targets in Syrian territory, further raising tensions. The Lebanese government, already grappling with a severe economic crisis and political instability, finds itself caught in the middle of this escalating conflict. The possibility of a wider war between Israel and Hezbollah, with Lebanon as the battleground, is a terrifying prospect for the Lebanese people, who have endured decades of conflict and instability.